You ready? Let's do Coach Coleman. Coach Coleman, you ready? Hey, hey.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So
How
I am Coach Coleman. I'm here. I specialize in a lot of things, as far as something as simple as building simple communication skills or simple coping skills. I've also specialized with anxiety all the way to depression, if that's something that you're working with or you're struggling with or find challenging. I also have items that can help you with those process as well.
Yeah, we talked about a few things. I think you have a journal, right?
Yes, I also have a self-care journal. And what I usually do typically, if I am your coach, would walk you through how to use that journal properly. Because
Okay.
a lot of people say, "Oh, I used the journal, but it wasn't helpful." But a lot of people don't use it the proper way. Have that technique that you're supposed to have in place. So I will either teach it to you so you can do it on your own, or if you want to work with me, I can walk you through that as well.
I love it. Okay, and what is your website? Let's get your website up here so we can have the fighters follow you.
It is betteryouSolutions.org.
Better you, YOU.
Yes, YOUSolutions.org.
Okay, and you said that you have a journal and you teach people how to use the journal. That is
Yes,
betteryouSolutions.org. This
yes.
is how we can get in contact with Coach Coleman.
Yes, and on that website, you have my number where you can text me or call me. You also have access to my email where you can email me or you can schedule an appointment. I usually respond back within 24 hours. Do not be afraid to reach out just to ask questions to see if I'm a good fit. And if I am not a good fit, I do believe in directing you to someone who is a good fit because at the end of the day, the goal is to actually help you.
I love it. And so you're a coach and you say you work with, tell us again what kind of coach you are.
I am a life coach in general. I
Mhm.
do have a degree in social work, which is very broad. I work with teenagers, adolescents, all the way to young adults, adults, and elders as well. I can help find resources such as Social Security, housing. I've worked in several states from Florida all the way to California, Georgia, Texas. Once again, there's nothing too small or too big. I wear many hats. I do not know everything, but I'm very well knowledgeable.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Hey, Tony, thank you for those purple hearts. Hey, Brandon, thank you for those purple hearts. This is Success Sunday. So I have my entrepreneurs on here and they are spotlighting their businesses and they're letting you guys know what it is that they have to offer to the fighters. And now she is a life coach and you have the journal.
Yes, and I
For some
also
reason,
have a candle
you have a,
as well
okay.
because sometimes scents can help us. So I have aromatherapy candles, which is lavender, which helps you relax. If you have a hard time falling asleep, it can help with falling asleep. It's just very calming and soothing, and it's with lavender. And
Okay.
it's a self-care journal in a candle. If you would like to purchase a kit, that kit is also on the website. And I also have a house fragrance, which is also lavender to match the candle.
Okay. And you said sometimes scents help.
Yes.
Why does scents help?
Um, I'll give you an example. Have you ever went somewhere where you smelled a certain scent and it
Mhm,
reminded you of something?
mhm.
Where our brain has these chemicals where certain scents can trigger certain things. So the scent of lavender is a certain particular scent that helps calm us down. Whether you do or do not purchase my candle, if you just get anything with the scent of lavender, is very soothing and calming. For instance, Dr. Till, they
Okay.
have the lotion that helps you calm yourself down. A lot of big people use it for infants.
Okay.
Now in 2022, they have it for adults as well, or if you want to bathe in it, that scent.
I love Dr. Teal.
Yes.
love it. I love
Yes.
it. So what made this personal for you? What made you decide? Because you say you have a degree, right? And
Yes.
what made you decide that you wanted to be a life coach?
It started, I originally was a teacher for
Mhm.
3 years in a high school, working with teenagers. I had a passion. I saw something that I consider a gap where maybe that child need that extra help, need that extra encouragement. So I started helping the children. I then began a youth mentoring program. But while operating that program, I noticed, hey, parents need help too. So the adults need help as well. That's when I then became a life coach. That way I can help both populations. And then once again, I'm a social worker at heart. I've been a social worker for 7 years. So I've seen a lot. I've also worked in psych units. I've worked in hospitals. I've worked along the side of police officers. Um, so I'm very well diverse, which allows me to see a lot, to communicate with a lot of individuals of all races, of all kinds, all ages. And I see the need. And that's when I'm dedicated and passionate about being a life coach.
I love it. And there's nothing like I was talking to my sister the other day and we were talking about how she coaches her her clients and she coaches from experience,
Mhm.
right? And working in a psychiatric field, that's a part of my background as well, right? It's a different coaching when you have a coach who's actually have hands-on experience as opposed to someone who just went to school for it, right?
Right.
Right? Because you don't really you see what's in the books. I don't know. You see what's in the books, but it's not quite the
Mhm.
same as the hands-on experience. You get what I'm
I
saying?
agree. I agree. It's different when you can actually see it, touch it, be involved,
Yeah.
versus reading. You can read and watch TV, but until you're in that moment,
Yes.
would you know how to handle that situation? Would
Right.
you use the correct words? It's
I think you froze up. What did you say? Did you guys hear? Hey, Lou, thank you for those purple hearts. You were
Yes,
freezing up.
I was saying it's the small things that count if you're able to identify those triggers.
You broke up from that. You were saying something about it's different when you're actually in it, and then you just clicked over to triggers. What were you saying about triggers?
When it's different when you can identify those triggers, those certain
Okay.
words. It's the small things that count. So when you're more experienced and have been around in those areas, you kind of know what to
Mhm.
look for. You know how to approach the situation, how to actually calm it down without
Mhm.
allowing it to escalate. Because some
Mhm.
people think they're helping, and in
Yes.
reality, they're not. And they mean no harm. But if
Yeah.
you're not used to it, you wouldn't know what to do in that moment.
And those trigger words that you're talking about, when you first got on here, you were talking about how you teach communication as well, right?
Correct.
And so that coincides with the triggers because
Yes.
you have to learn how to use specific words during certain situations because you will escalate a situation,
Yes.
correct? If
Yes.
you
I
don't
agree.
if you don't know what words to use. And oftentimes, like I said, on another segment that we had here, being quiet so that you can get a full understanding of the situation helps most. Would you agree?
I agree. Sometimes I've had clients who would they just want to sit in silence,
Yes.
and you have to allow them to.
Yes.
You or I say I will allow them to,
Mhm.
just to be in that moment, just to be present in that moment. When you're ready, we can move forward.
Exactly.
Um, yeah.
Exactly. Because in the moment of a crisis is not a time that you teach. You
Exactly.
you can't
Exactly.
take you can't teach when you're in a crisis. Now you have to bring your client back down to baseline. And so now it becomes a matter of a safety issue. And yeah, so those trigger words are very much important. And so you said you started teaching those kids, and that's what got you started. You started this mentor program. Now,
Yes.
what do you still have the mentor program going on?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And what area? Tell the fighters where you're at. What area you?
The mentoring program is originally face-to-face, physically in Clewiston, Florida. Okay. However, we're growing to be nationwide. That way we can meet with the individuals virtually, and we'll meet once a week, checking in. How are your grades? How was your day? How's your week going in school? So we want to make sure first education and mentally they're healthy. We're also once a month send boxes of food to the household. That way you're feeding your brain, you're getting your education in school, and mentally you're getting fit. So you want to get fit overall, physically and mentally.
I love it. I love it because you can't fix one without the next, right?
Exactly.
You can't fix one without the next. And so what would a session look like with you, with one of your clients? If someone chose you as their coach, right? Yes. If I needed you as my life coach, what would a session look like? That's what I want you to tell the fighters. What would that look like?
The first session would first identifying, am I a good fit for you? Okay. Are you comfortable with speaking with me? Is it a safe zone? Would you consider that a safe zone? That's the first thing, because with speaking to anyone about releasing our emotions or having those tough conversations, you have to feel comfortable in order for it to work. Secondly, let's identify what's your weakness, what are your strong points, so we can identify what we should work on or what would you like to work on and move forward. And I like to also identify triggers. We're just trying to find out your flow so that we can see how to move forward and what does that look like for you. It's different for everyone. So everyone's case is not the same. That's how I handle my clients.
Okay. So it's basically tailored to my needs.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Make sure you guys are following Coach Coleman at betteryouSolutions.org. Is there anything else that you wanted to leave the fighters with before we get out of here?
If you all would subscribe to the website, you will get daily quotes. Also, Instagram, Coach Coleman, .0. You'll also receive daily quotes as well. You can get access to me, my Instagram, my social media, and Facebook, all on the website. So check it out.
Oh, there we go. I got your website. Let me pull it up there real quick. Okay. So the fighters can see you. Did you see it?
Yes.
There you go. There she goes. Coach Coleman. Well, I want to thank you so much for giving us your Sunday.
No, thank you for having me. And thank you all for tuning in.
Yes, yes. Well, you have an amazing week, okay?
You too.
All righty. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You guys, make sure you're following Coach Coleman. I guess I can leave that up there. Thank you.
You're welcome.